Hey guys, this is Poverty with Hungry Wolf Studios. Yeah, I'm finally starting the studio. Anyways, it's year 2, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was the original outline plan. What I need, coding library, code archive. You know, I got all these ideas written down, and yeah, a lot of stained freaking paper. That's actually natural. I didn't put it in a good spot. But anyways, games to make, all this good stuff, like hopefully this comes in focus. Yeah, I need a new camera. That's actually on my freaking list. But anyways, the plan for 2017, year number 2, I got a brand new to-do list. So this was last year's to-do list, talking about, you know, goal of programming, have fun or there's no point to it, don't burn out. Get all my little bits and pieces of code together in one engine, build tools to make the game easier, and get back into programming. My failed quest and space fail. Yeah, I'm making fun of myself. And work towards a 3D real fun. Next is blah blah blah. Second goal is make an environment online, and listed out all the things I need to buy. So, anyways. So that was last year's, as I put that aside, that was last year's to-do list, and slowly worked on it. One of the tricks of not burning out is not to look too far ahead. I mean, if you look at how much work you have to do, it's like, you know, mining Mount St. Helens. It's just like, it's too much. And it's just like, yeah, no, I think I'd rather drink. But I decided to go ahead and do a full to-do list for the year, and this year is actually going to be rather boring because hey, I'm trying something new, and the shadow. One second, let me move the light and hopefully it's better. 1 second. Alright, moved the light and grabbed another one, so hopefully it's not too orange in the playthrough. So okay, where was I? This year is going to be rather boring because it's all going to be like raw data manipulation. But anyways, this is the last thing I actually wrote down in my book. That's back in October 11th, 2016. So this is right when I was like the rush. I was rushing to get everything done by the 15th of November. So anyways, this is my fighting schematic, I guess. Anyways, so moving on to a new year, and I said I'd take a few weeks off, and it's January 30th, so 2017, a new year. So with this one, I got my own to-do list, and one of the things that I did, because I had to figure out how much time I need to put in per week, is figure out all the features I want and what's it going to take. So this was just planning. I've done this over the last 2 months. Screen graphics. So it's still going to be text-based, but I have to start somewhere. So I need to start working on text graphics and windowing and layers and menu system and just the whole thing. So I'm going to be making a text editor, because this year it's going to be for every map square is going to be 5 by 5 now. So instead of having some few hundred, I could actually do by hand. So this year it's going to be over 3,000, and I'm not going to code every single square, what the symbol is, what the foreground color, what the background color is, what is you know, the layer underneath it, what's its movement type, all of that. I need an editor, so I'm going to start that from scratch. There's going to be no drag and drop. So screen graphics, and what do I have to work with? Dun dun dun. Don't know if you can see this very clearly, but yeah. So this is going to be the plan. You know, you got your little happy face and the happy face and all these different symbols, the letters, the characters, and then getting down here you get some crazy ones, which This is a double wall for a frame. This is a opening for a line to the left. So basically, dun dun dun, you put it together and you can make your own. Like, this is the top. This is where you put the title in for the frame. There's the side, there's the corner. That's not the right one I wanted. Here we go. So we've got framework for the graphics, which is actually ASCII key characters. So 206, go down and look at 206. 206 looks like that. And it doesn't look like anything until it's put together with all the others. And it actually makes the original DOS style windows. The framing. So you can, these are all the ANSI numbers. 0 to 255. Sorry for the blinking. It's very old light, so it twitches. So apologize about that. Poverty's a pain and all. Try not to cuss. Damn it. So we got the double lines, we've got the single lines, and then we've got the transition from double to single and double to single. So it can get as fancy as we want. That's going to be the graphics. So I've kind of done a little layout. So the terminal size, screen on the terminal, 0 to 80, or 0, or it's 80 wide, 0 to 79, and it's actually 25 high. I always thought it was 24, so it's 0 to 24, and that's why I kept thinking it's only 24 high. It's 25 high, and that light's bugging me. Hang on one second. Yeah, it's probably going to get dimmer, but at least it won't twitch. Okay, so this area is going to be where you get your data, description. You examine something, it appears here. What the room looks like appears here. Your text will be here. You'll type it in here. And of course, if it's single stroke, it doesn't appear at all. It's just going to be, this is going to be the map. So you're going to have all these characters. Can be different things. Change the color. For example, oh, where is it? This is going to be, come on, it's going to be a deep ocean, and it's going to be a dark blue. And then when you get closer to shore, you're going to have a, here it is, it's the tilde, which is a single little wavy thing. And that's going to be the shoreline, which is going to be a light blue. So you're going to be able to paint pictures with just random little bits of things, like this is the new yen symbol, the yen symbol, Japanese money. But hey, that looks like a monster. You could fight that. So you know, turn it red and you can fight it. You know, make it a creature. Other things. I know this is a circle over an A, but still, you got all these different symbols you can use for monsters. But anyways, I digress. So that's going to make up the map, which is like 22 by 22 in size. I need to make it an odd size so that the character stays in the dead center. So that's the plan for the graphics. So screen graphics, tons of things to go through. So we need a new map class, design the map class for layers and stuff. I've done this once or twice before, and it's just like I drew a box and put text in it, and I called it a window. It's a good start, but I need to do more. A window system that has a yes or no, a window system that has selection, you know, new game, load game, delete game, quit, details, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, about the game. So I need more than what I've done in the past, and I really don't have an idea, so I keep creating something new, keep hitting it hard. So rewrite the map class because we need to get the graphics into it where we didn't have the graphics before. All the little details, design, save, load .dat file so that we can have both the tool and the game run from a single file, which means that if anyone knows what they're doing, they could probably hack it. And of course 4 hours time for polish and time buffer, so if something takes longer than I expected, I've got four extra hours in there. So 20 hours. There's a lot more to it. This screen graphics is connected to a lot of other things, so a lot of other things has to be done before this is actually complete. So 20 hours. New screen, new display code. Flip it over. Yeah, have descriptions. Yeah, this is probably going to get all boring because it's all text and me talking, but anyways, the whole window system. Estimate for both parts is going to be 36 hours. Text formatting. This needs to be for windowing and output. So like when you type, you can put like colored text to the screen in your code. So this is for later on for messaging other players. This includes design, code, and windowing class. So writing text class. So the design, 9 hours, coding is 26. Talking about the text format, the structure, a struct class. So it's going to be the symbol, the foreground color, the background color, and possible options like animation. So does it blink? If it does, what are the colors blinking? Word wrap, center text, text scripting language, so that I can actually write all the information as this long line of gibberish and it translates just fine to multiple colors, blinking if it's blinking, etc., so that I have my own text scripting language. So I don't have to hard code it every freaking time, I just simplify. Create a window class, which is used for text processing class. Windowing class and function, about 10 hours for the design, about 24 for the actual coding. Frame type, color. I've actually worked on this a bit. It's a pain in the ass, and I've had to write it and rewrite it, and I just haven't done this before. So I really don't have a clue what to do, and as I write it, I realize I need to rewrite it. So 3 times? It takes me 3 times to get this right. Maybe 4 if necessary, just to get the basic going. And that's what it took for the fighting code as well, or the questing code. I've never done the questing code before, but I got it in the game. It definitely is going to get rewritten because there's more I need to add, and the functionality is kind of meh. But anyways, so text formatting, 69 hours. You'll notice that the time is increasing for each one. So then there's the design, save, load file, and it's like, yeah, so what? Well, this is for the map. This is for the whole game, for it to be processed by both the text editor and by the game. And maybe text scripting, so that you can pull in the script. It produces a .dat file for you, so you don't really have to mess with too much, but whew, it's going to probably be plenty. Sorry for the coughing here. Alright, moving on. And about 11 hours for this one. Version number, map size location, map data location, monsters, all the stuff that goes into a map needs to be recorded in the data file. Obviously, duh. But the thing is, I want it dynamic so that every file can be different. So that if I pass it over to a world designer, he's not going to have to know coding. I want it to be easy for them. So that's a lot to think about, but about 11 hours I think will do good for coding. And finally, map editing tool. This is the thing I've been talking the whole time about. And it turns out I need to start from the back end and work forward. So this one's a mess. I've done a map editing tool before. It was 2D, and it was real simple. It was just so I could edit my own map, and it was rough. But I want to get it so that, again, I can just pass it over to a employee and say, hey, make me a world. And they've got the tools to do so. So what is all the things? Starting part, design. Tools, design, basic, starting functions, blah, blah, blah. Main display. And it turns out, yeah, I need a tripod or a trusty sidekick. So here we go. So here it is. We've got the menu, editing window, details on that, info window, and the bottom is going to be like data. So what window are we in, etc. And then on top of that, every single frame is going to have a different functionality based on what it is in. So I've worked on this already, and I want to press Alt to get up to the menu because it can be done. It happens in Notepad. But the way it's set up, with the window keys, the virtual keys of all the little things, Alt is a pain in the ass. So right now it's Escape. Escape gets into the menu, but meh, that's for later on. But I'm still working on that. So each one has a different thing, and then you have a windowing system on top of it. The menus will have a drop-down box which has to be on a different layer, and then the windows on a different layer, and you can draw them accordingly, and lots of functionality to be added. So this is going to be a pain in the ass. So the design, 18 hours is my estimate. I'm way past that. Design and code has mashed together, so I will design, I'll code, I'll go back to design, I'll code some more, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, last time I looked was 60 hours. I think that's about right, 60 hours for my last one. So this one's going to be 138 hours. So basic screen opening, menu at top, key commands, escape to quit. Do you want to quit? Yes or no windows, just the whole 9 yards. So this goes with text formatting and screen graphics and windowing. So it's a big mess. So basically, I say so too much. So. 254 hours total up to this point. And then that is just getting going, and then I need to add what I didn't add last year. Skills, inventory items, skills 12 hours, inventory items 20, buy and sell 15 hours, using items and cleaning up the code 6 hours, loot drop 10 hours, replaying 12 hours, cleaning up 4 hours just for fun. To examine is going to go in, so another 4 hours. So additional 43 or 83 hours. So total hours 337. And if I worked every week, it would be about seven-ish hours a week. So if you round that up, it'd be 520. So it's that's a lot of hours. I did about 1.5 hours a week average until the last month, and then I crunched. Guys, I'm just looking for something exciting. Exciting angle. Okay, getting to the point real quick. Hungry Wolf Studios. I've spent a pretty penny to get the username and all the other stuff for it. So people are like, oh, we're going to be on a shoestring budget. I can't afford a shoestring. It's more like going to be pocket change budget. There's a lot of things I'm going to need, but I'm going to go as far as I can before spending the money, because poverty and all. Now, a lot of time, whee! Head full of squirrels, I tell you, head full of squirrels, whee! A lot of times people want to hype up things, and I'm like, for this studios, no. We're not going to do major things. It's going to be low graphics, small population. If I have a population of 100,000 registered users and a population of less than 100 on at any one time, I would be absolutely happy. So it's going to be a tiny world so that 100 people feels like a decent size. I hope to have an online environment. Sorry, I keep stopping and starting because I just start rambling. I want to keep this simple. I want to keep it to the point. The plan is to make an environment that I've always wanted. I played a lot of games, EverQuest and Star Wars Galaxy. They've all had their advantages and disadvantages, and I wanted one that I wouldn't be bored with, something that's, you know, I spend a month in and I'm done. People will spend years in these games, like World of Warcraft. That too, I played for about a month, got bored and stopped, came back, played for a month, and then stopped. I've been back and forth for like 4 or 5 times, and it only lasts about a month before I'm bored. And I'm like, it's not a real world. It's a storytelling environment where you just grind. So hopefully I can create a game that can keep my attention. If I can do that, I know I've got a better game. So I'm not going to have the big fancy graphics. I'm just going to have something Minecraft-ish, if not better. But the point is just to stay in practice and to keep trying. So I hope you join me in this adventure, this misguided coding project studio adventure. But anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. And I hope you join me.